All right, what's up guys? VV back with another video. And in today's video, we've got a market watch lined up for you. That's right. For anyone who might be new to the channel, we do a market watch video on the 1st and the 15th of every single month. Okay, so let's get right into it. I'll lay things out for everyone real quick. First things first, we're going to check out over on TCGPlayer.com, see what the prices are. Today, we're going to mainly focus on OP13, PRB-02, EB-02, and then OP12, okay? And then after that, we're going to head over to LimitlessTCG and check out how much decks are costing in their entirety, okay? So let's do this, guys. I will have everything time-stamped in the general section, as always, and I'll have all relevant links and stuff like that in the comment section below. If you guys have any comments, questions, or suggestions, please do not hesitate to put those down in the comment section below, or hop on the VV Theory Discord. Link will be in the channel description. This video is brought to you by Nin Garden. Pre-orders are now open for the Journey's End playmat featuring the Pirate King, with a 1 in 20 chance to pull the special Wanted Bounty variant. Plus, the Chaos and Crown collection, including the Berserk and Absolute Ruler playmats, are available at a discounted price. Nin Garden is also introducing their new soft cloth hybrid playmats, now available with select designs. And don't forget to use the code TheVVTheory at the checkout to get 8% off on your next order. Alright guys, first up we have OP13. Now, real quick, before we launch on this, if you plan on making any purchases with TCGPlayer.com, please do not forget to use my affiliate link. I have that linked in the comment section, I think also in the general description as well. It would help me out big time if you would do that, guys. Thank y'all so much. Now, OP13 is, how do I say this, guys? When it comes to the one-piece trading card game, the OP sets, which are just the standard sets that come out, those are great. They are very affordable. The most expensive cards you're going to see in this set are 5 Elders, Yamato, and then Edward Newgate. That's legitimately the most expensive cards you're going to see in this set, other than the secret rares. So let me just say right now, it is thumbs up. You are good to go on buying your OP13 stuff. Generally, I tell people to wait about 2 weeks. Well, first of all, it has been roughly about 2 weeks now since the release of OP13. But also, just everything looks very, very affordable for OP13. And I'm going to sum that up right there. Now, we are going to look at two cards in particular. Excuse me, I think it's 3 cards. Let me go to Rarity and go to Secret Rare. These are the only cards you're going to have to keep an eye on to see what you want to do with them. And one more thing I do want to mention, guys, is I expect the cards to go even further down in cost over time. All the cards in OP13, I actually expect most of them, maybe not all of them, but many of them to go down even further in price over time, especially over the next 2 to 3 weeks. Now, the cards to look out for are these 3 you see right here. Notice this: Monkey D. Luffy, Sabo, and Ace. These are secret rares, and I'm going to be honest, these are very affordable prices for them, especially the Ace, under $5 for a secret rare that just came out, right? This came out, what, I think about 2 weeks ago at the time you're recording this video. Yeah, incredible price on the Ace. Now, yes, it's true, Ace is probably not quite as good as Sabo or Luffy, at least not currently. And that's the key word there. The word I want to really emphasize is currently. You never know what Bandai is going to release in the future to push a secret rare into a whole nother level. And once it gets into that next stratosphere, or that next level, whatever you want to call it, that's when the price jumps up. So for any of the players out there who are trying to get their collection going, I would, this Ace at under $5 right here. Notice one more thing too, guys. There's the listing and then there's the market price. Focus on the green market price. The smaller number on the bottom right, that is the more accurate number. Okay, so Ace for under $5. Sabo under $14. Let's just say under 15. And then Luffy as well, under 15, almost $10. These are all very good to buy at currently. However, this is shaping up to be a very popular set because look at how many different hits you can get for all of these cards. A lot of people like the alt art stuff, whether it be wanted posters, whether it be just alt arts in general, you know, these parallel alt arts, or even the mangas or whatever it might be. So I actually do expect some of these cards, these top 3 in particular, Luffy and Sabo, I do expect them to probably settle right around $10 USD. And Portgas Ace will probably be at $5 or under for the foreseeable future, unless some incredible deck pops up that uses him and can abuse his effect. Otherwise, I think that card will probably stay right around the $5 and under mark. Okay, so let's keep an eye on those cards, all right? Now, that's all I have for you for OP13. Now we're going to go over to PRB-02. And, yep, these PRB sets are the exact opposite. These are the exact opposite of the OP sets, okay? There's really like three main, I guess there's technically four kinds of sets to look for. There's ST is starter deck. We're not talking about any starter decks today. But there's ST, then there's OP, that's your standard booster boxes. And then there's two really ugly letter combinations. And that's EB and PRB. EB stands for Extra Booster, I believe, and PRB stands for Premium Booster. Bandai has not figured out the way to drop the price down of these cards. And guys, the crazy part about PRB is it's meant to be a Premium Booster reprint box to make cards cheaper. But in this case, Bandai decided to put 3 cards for each color in here that are exclusive to the PRB set, okay? And that's why Marco is about $20 a card. Marco, to be fair, is basically the most expensive card in PRB, not counting the alt art stuff, obviously. Boa Hancock is around $10. Remember, guys, don't look at the smaller number. Yes, it's too good to be true. Look at the bigger number down here at the bottom right. These bigger numbers are the ones to focus on. Boa Hancock, about $11, okay? Cavendish has dropped down to $5. I think there's 3 different printings of Cavendish now. There's the standard original printing, then there's the reprint from PRB-02, and then there's also a new Learn to Play starter style deck that also has Cavendish in it as well. So that has gone down. But $5 for Cavendish, guys, it's a very solid SR for any Supernova deck. Trafalgar Law, this is actually very reasonably priced here at $2, guys. I'd probably snatch these up as soon as possible. Sabo at $12. And let me say this too, guys. The prices you see right here are probably not going to fluctuate very much in the future. They might over time, but again, they might go up, they might go down. We just simply don't know. It's going to come down to if they choose to, you know, print more, get a second print run of PRB and stuff like that. And also some cards might become used more in the future in future leaders and decks that come out. It's a scary thing to keep up with, but I will say this, guys, if you're serious about the game and or if you're a collector, I would probably just get these as soon as you can, just 1 card at a time. I'm not saying it's the best strategy for your wallet. I'm just saying you just never know what's going to happen with these PRB cards or the EB cards we're about to look at in a minute. So even this Otama, guys, look at this. These are... So there's 3 main rarities in this game. There's the secret rares where they have the gold border. Notice this Zoro above my head. They have a gold border. That's the most rare. That's the highest base rarity in the game is secret. Okay, with the gold border. Those are super rare. Then there's the silver border. Those are SRs, super rares. That's the second highest base rarity. And then there's rare, which is just this white border, and under. Rares, uncommons, and commons. Those are typically insanely cheap. Just to put things into perspective, guys, look at this. We're back on OP. This is back on OP13 we're looking at here. These cards are rares at the top left here. Look at this. Garp, this is a very high quality searcher for under $1. Zoro, under $1. Law, under $1. But guys, look at these rares. Not SRs, not secrets. Look at the rare cost of these PRB-02 cards. Otama, $8 a card. Zoro, almost $9 a card. This Bonnie, $5. Guys, it's outrageous. This Kobe's at $5. Now, that did go down over time. That does give me some hope. Let me click on this real quick, guys. This Kobe has dropped down over time. Notice this. It started off at $12. I think I got mine for around $7 or $8, and it has gone down. So, like I said, these things are such a random... I don't know what factor to look for other than like a deck doing very well to make the card jump up in price. These cards go up and down on here. I'm just going to chalk it up to the PRB and EB sets are totally impossible to solve, at least for the most part. If you guys know the recipe on how to solve the market for these PRB and EB cards, by all means, please share it in the comment section below. I would just keep your eye on all these, and I would get them as soon as you can. The good news is there are only 3 times 6, what is that, 18? There's only 18 cards to get. Now, yes, it's a 4F playset for each one of these, but think of it like this. There's 3 red cards from PRB that are unique, that are exclusive to PRB, and then there's 3 green, so it's 3 red, 3 green, 3 blue, 3 purple, 3 black, and 3 yellow. So that's 18 cards altogether that you have to get your hands on, and you have to focus in on collecting over time. And then once you have that, you're done with that set. Some other cards to look at that came out in PRB-02 that were reprints is Mr. Tuban Bentham. Guys, I don't know why this card did not go further down in price. I don't have an answer for you. I think it's just because there were so many cards reprinted in PRB-02 that it did not really hurt. It did not really drop down the price of this card. And yeah, what you see is what you get. This card might just be, excuse me, guys. This might just be a $20 card from here on out. So I would get these as soon as you can if you're trying to get your play set. And if it makes you feel any better, guys, I got mine and traded for mine back when they were $20 when they first came out. They dropped, let me see if I can go. Well, this is just the reprint. I want to say I got my Mr. 2 Benthams. I think I traded for them like in person. I don't think I got any of them off the internet. I got 2 from the boxes they came in, which was EB01. And then I think I traded one, and then I bought the other one for around $25 or $30. So hey, if you can get it for $20 USD, I don't think that's that bad, especially for a secret rare of this quality that is just this universally and generically good. Okay. One more card we have to look at that came out in this same set. That was a reprint of a card that went up to $100. Well, I guess Mr. Tuban Bentham went up to like $80 or maybe almost $100. But there's also a Luffy. We have to, let me just sort by rarity for secret rares. There's a 6-cost secret Luffy that came out in this set, and it dropped the price down big time. Okay, now this is what I'm talking about. This is really nice. This card was selling for almost $100 at one point. Not the reprint, obviously, the original that came out in EB02, which we're about to look at EB02 in just a minute. This card's at $10. I would just count it as a blessing and get this as soon as you could, guys. I think this is a very affordable price for this card, and this is one of those cards you probably only need 1 or 2 of. I don't think you need a full play set of a card like this. Okay? Okay, so that's all I have for you guys for PRB-02. Now let's head over to EB-02. The cards in here, guys, understand this set came out a while ago. I don't remember the exact date. I want to say it was about 3 months ago, 2.5, 3 months ago. Someone help me out in the comment section below. I can't remember. But look at these prices, guys. They're still extremely high. Nefeltari Vivi, around $10 for an SR. Yamato is almost $20. Let's just call it $17, $18. Sanji and Pudding has gone down a little bit. It's around $13. I think this was $17 or $18 when I bought them. Vegapunk is around $5. That has gone down. I think that one was much higher a while back. Let me see, actually. I can't remember. Yeah, I think this one was up to about as high as $10. I don't think it got much higher than that. No, I don't think it did. So either way. So Vegapunk, pretty affordable, all things considered. The $5 one, or excuse me, the 5-cost yellow SR from EB02. Probably pretty good to pick that up now. This NL, if you're trying to play NL, it's a must-have, and at $7 for an SR of this quality, it's like a secret rare in that deck, guys. So buying it for $7 is really not too bad. And those are the main ones there. I will say that the Yamato, the Nefeltari Vivi, the Sanji and Pudding, and the Enel, I think those are the most expensive cards from this set outside of the Secret Luffy. Vegapunk's around $5.72. Let me actually just sort by super rares real quick, guys, so we can see. Yeah, so we just talked about these 5 right here. Sengoku, very affordable right now. Okay, yeah, everything else other than the alt-art stuff, very, very affordable right now. The Arlong is about $1.50 for an SR. Guys, let me just say it like this. If you plan on playing this game in the long term, I would snatch these up immediately. The Trafalgar Law, the Joribani, and the Arlong, they're extremely cheap SRs that are in a EB02 set. There's just, I'm telling you guys, just 1 liter has to pop up, and then these get bought out so quickly. I just wouldn't take my chances. And buying a play set of Arlongs for, what is that, $6? Sure, just snatch that up. Same thing with Trafalgar Law, and same thing with Bonnie. Yeah. So it ended up being about $20 for these 3 play sets here. Not bad. Okay, that's really all I have to say for EB02. We will at least look at the secret rare real quick, which is the Luffy. This one is going to be slightly more expensive. I say that. Okay, yeah, excuse me. Yeah, these are for the for Japanese versions. Well, they're still pretty cheap, all things considered. Unless all of these are Japanese, I'm not sure. They got Japanese versions mixed in with the other ones. Looks like it's about $9 or $10, though, for the Secret Luffy, and that is very solid. I would pick those up as soon as you can if you've been waiting to buy this. Okay, now, just to kind of summarize, let me go back real quick. Like I said, for OP12, thumbs up, buy what you need to. I think these prices are pretty good. If you can wait a little bit longer, I would expect some of these to drop down, like the 5 Elders and Edward Newgate. I expect those to drop down a little tiny bit, and same thing with some of the secret rares. For for PRB-02, all of these cards, guys, you're going to have to keep an eye on. Let me go back. Here we go to these. Keep an eye on these cards. Yes, they're expensive. I don't know how much cheaper they're going to be. So you have the thumbs up to buy them at your own discretion here, because I don't think they're going to go down much further. Especially a card like Marco, and especially a card like even this Zoro. That's just a rare. It's not even an SR. It's going to be in probably every green deck moving forward. It's a slash character. It is a Supernova and Straw Hat character. It's a 2K counter, and it's a blocker, and it has an effect. It's just good in every way, shape, and form. Okay, so yeah, keep your eye on these cards, guys. Keep your eye on these cards. Now, last but not least, well, actually, before we move over to the decks in their entirety, we are going to take a look at OP12 real quickly. Did I call this OP12, guys? Hopefully y'all knew what I meant. I meant OP13 for this one. This was PRB-02. This was EB, and this is OP12. Now, for OP12, there's only one card. There's really only one card to look at right now, guys. There's like 2 cards, I guess, maybe 3. It is Perona, Kuma, and Joribani, right where my camera's at. This secret Joribani. Everything else is so affordable, there is no reason to even question whether or not you should pick it up at this price. And that is what Bandai has done a very good job, at, or however you want to say that. Bandai has done a very, very good job making the OP standard booster sets incredibly affordable. Yes, there's always a few exceptions in there, like with this Kuma we're about to talk about and this Perona, but everything else is actually extremely, extremely affordable. So let's talk about Perona first. Guys, this SR right here, first of all, it is only $5 right now, it looks like. Well, no, it's kind of closer to $7.50. It's just an incredibly versatile searcher in green. Remember what we were just talking about with the Zoro from from what was it, PRB-02? Or actually, let me see what it was. Yeah, it was PRB-02. This Zoro right here. We were just talking about this card. Well, guys, this Perona can search a card like that up, right? And it is a 1-cost, 2,000 power, 1K counter classic searcher frame where it can search up not just slash attribute characters, but it can also search up green events. So it's as long as your leader is slash attribute, which is required for this card's effect, you can run this in any green deck moving forward. So it actually just has that kind of utility and that kind of versatility. It might go down a little bit over time. I could see this card settling around 350 to 450, but hey, it's at 450 right now, so I mean, I probably would snatch these up as soon as you can. And excuse me, that's right, this price right here is kind of a trick, guys. Well, who knows? Maybe not. Maybe people are trying to get rid of these. Maybe they're not selling all that well right now. I'm not sure, but there is one at the time me, doing this review. One of them is extremely cheap. That's very good to see, and the rest are around $6. But yeah, I would even get these at $6 right now, guys. It's just one of those you have to kind of just grit your teeth and muscle your way through it. Now, let's talk about Bonnie, and we'll talk about Kuma last. Bonnie is a secret rare. You only need probably 2 of these, so $12 for a pseudo play set of what you need, and you're good to go. It's just solid. It's just a good card, guys, within any green deck. 5-cost, 6K, 1K counter blocker, and if you have 8 or more rested cards, not just characters, it could be Dawn cards, whatever, then you do a draw 2 trash one, and you stand a Dawn up. So it almost works as like a 4-cost, 6K blocker that does a draw 2 trash one. I mean, there's just no downside to that, right? Hey, what's the only downside, guys? It doesn't have Straw Hat searchability and a slash attribute. I don't know. Either way, incredible secret rare. I would snatch these up as soon as you can. Last but not least is Kuma. This card keeps going down in price, and I'm okay with it. Guys, I'm not going to lie. I bought mine for $30, and I am not upset about that. I was scared this card was going to jump up even further in price, and yellow is my main color, of course. And I also like Revo Army for what it's worth. But hear me out, guys. Yeah, it's at $20. I don't know how long you want to wait for this card to start picking up in price, right? It keeps going down and down and down and further and further and further in price. how much longer are you going to wait to see when it finally, you know, bottoms out before it starts going back up again? Because let me say this, guys, there was a tournament, there was a Japanese tournament last night for OP13, and they spoiled something a lot of people in the community already knew. They're going to be coming out with a yellow Monkey D. Luffy Egghead starter deck. Well, guys, imagine if that becomes a top-tier deck, and imagine if it runs this card. I mean, if it's a yellow deck, it could run this card, right? There's no reason it shouldn't. So, yeah. Hey, $20, that's still a lot of money, but I would see this as yellow's version of the purple Mr. 2 Boncray Bentham. Guys, and they're not from the same sets either. I understand that. They're not like from the same rarity sets. This is from OP12, whereas Mr. 2 Boncray Bentham, I believe, was from EB01, which is a harder set to get a hold of. But there's already been reprints of that set, right? And that card's still $20. Guys, this Kuma, I would just kind of see this as yellow's version of that card, of the Mr. 2 Boncray Bentham. It's just an incredibly solid yellow card. It gains you a life, which is like integral to the identity of yellow. Hopefully I said that right, but you guys know what I'm saying. It is just, it's how yellow functions as a color. Okay, this card is just, it doesn't have any insane downside at all. It might not be the most insane card, which is the same case as Mr. 2 Boncray Bentham. The card's really not all that insane in some matchups. In some matchups it is, to be fair. But the same thing can be said about Bartholomew Kuma. It's not the most insane card out there, but in some matchups it is pretty insane. But otherwise, both of the cards are just incredibly solid in every single deck that it can be running. So, keep your eye on this card, guys. I wouldn't wait much longer, because if a yellow leader starts winning big tournaments, and it's running this card, that's when you'll see the price jump up. Okay, now I think that's it. Yeah, that's, excuse me, guys. Y'all bear with me with these allergies right now. They're going a little bit crazy. I live in Florida. So check this out, guys. That's pretty much it. OP12 and OP13, those are green light thumbs up. EB02 and PRB-02, just keep your eye on those, guys. It's hard to tell how the market's going to go, but some of these really high-cost ones, like this Yamato and this Marco, yeah, they're expensive, and they're probably going to stay there. We'll have to see what happens in the future. Okay, now we're going to head over to LimitlessTCG and check out how much these decks are costing in their entirety. Now, notice there are no OP13 leaders on here just yet. Hopefully that will be updated by the next Market Watch on the 1st, which will be December 1st, okay? But until then, we are stuck with some OP12 meta, but that's okay. This is really meant for the newer players who are getting into the game, so you can get an idea of how much it costs to just get into this game. Like, okay, that's cool with all the Market Watch, but how can I just pick up, like, how much would it cost for me to pick up a tournament level deck and just start hit the ground, you know, just hit the ground running? Okay, so we're going to go over all these top 5, and then I'm going to kind of cherry pick the other ones I want. So first up is Blue Purple Luffy. This is let's look at this 4th place list here by Sanji-kun is the guy's name, and this is a $200 deck. It's mainly because of these 4 Mr. 2 Boncray Benthams. We already talked about this card, but this is a card you can replace with a card called Basil Hawkins. Let me type that in, and then let me sort by cards. There's a really solid replacement for Mr. 2 Boncray Bentham. I'm not saying it's as good or better than Mr. 2 Boncray Bentham. It's just a solid replacement for it for the time being if you're just trying to get some reps in with this deck and reduce the cost of the deck. Because if you run 4 of these over the, notice how much that card costs, by the way, about 50 cents. So let's adjust the numbers now. If you were to subtract $100 off the top of this deck and then add the 4 Basil Hawkins we just said, okay, well now it's literally just at around $100 for the deck. This is a very fun deck to play, by the way. It's kind of more in line with like a control theme within the One Piece trading card game. If you're coming from a game like Magic, it's not exactly like actual control like in that game where you're countering spells and whatnot. But at the same time, you're kind of just going to the late game, and then you start generating a lot of value with like a value engine that's built in to this leader. Pause and read it if you don't know what it does. So about $100 you can get away with building this deck up and going from here. But otherwise, it's $200 card for card, which is not too bad for what's considered, look at this, guys, basically the #1 deck in the format as far as points earned in the West. Next up is Green Jewelry Bonnie. Here's a ninth place list here by Tyler T. And this is about a $180 list, $185 list. The most expensive card in here is the Zorro and the Hody Jones. These are, they're just kind of staples in green right now. Excuse me, and Cavendish. I forgot to mention Cavendish. Jory Bonnie's pretty expensive. Oh, excuse me. I thought this was another Jory Bonnie. This, of course, is the PRB-02 Jory Bonnie. But yeah, Bonnie, Cavendish, Hody Jones, and Zorro. Those are the 4 cards that are going to cost you a pretty penny. I don't think you necessarily need this Zorro in the deck, but it is very solid, all things considered. If you can afford it, if you can run it, then it would be a nice addition to the list. Otherwise, though, I think you can go up to 4 of these, and maybe in the place of this card, maybe go up one more of either this Eustace Captain Kidd or even this Dracula Mihawk. I'm not saying they're the same card, but I'm just saying if you're trying to save a little bit of money, you can go about things like that. You can, go up to 2 of these, go up to 4 Doflamingos and go up a Dracula Mihawk or Eustace Captain Kidd. And then for the Hody Jones, there really is no exact replacement for this card, but I guess you could run something like Dead Man's Game. Okay, and that is an event. Let me see if I can search that up real quick. It's not called exactly this. Let me see. Oops, I was sorting by decks. It's got a really long name. Yeah, this is it here. It's called Demon Aura 9-Sword Style Asura Blades Drawn Dead Man's Game. Okay, this is about $1.50 a card, so you can get a play set of these for about $6. Not too bad. And it's close enough to Hody Jones's effect, so that's going to save you $20 there. Cavendish, there is no real replacement for this card, if I'm being honest. This is probably the one you're going to... But it should not be $35 for the full play set. This has them listed at $8 a card. And didn't we just look at this, guys? I mean, we literally just looked at this, and it was about $5 a card. Yeah, it looks like it's around... yeah, it's about $5 or $6 a card, so it should be even cheaper than what you see right here. These prices must not be updated, but either way, I think, that card I would keep in here. And this Jory Bonnie, I don't think you have to run this card, but it is very solid in Jory Bonnie. Go figure, right? Jory Bonnie is very good in Jory Bonnie. But that could save you a lot of money if you replace, especially the cards I said, like this Zorro, this Hody Jones, and then this Cavendish. It should just be cheaper. I think the price is just inaccurate. Okay, what else? Then we have Silver's Rayleigh. Silver's Rayleigh here is a first place list here by Jackie Mock. And this is a list for under $100. Now, this one's pretty straightforward. There's not really much you can change out of here. These Nami searchers are kind of expensive right now. It is what it is. Same thing with this Gum Gum Mole Pistol. But the good news is I don't think Gum Gum Mole Pistol is quite as good going into OP13. So you might be able to drop down one of these and maybe go up a Rad Beam, or drop down one of these and go up a Colors of Arms Hockey. Or there's also another card called King Kong Gatling. Let me see if I can look that one up real quick. I think there's a few of them. I think there's a red and a purple one. We'll look that up real quick. Okay, there's a bunch of them, but this is the card I was referring to. You can run this in the place of a few of those if you need to, if you just want to save a little bit of money to be able to get into the game. Okay, so that's it for Silver's Rayleigh. This is a very solid aggro deck. I should have probably been mentioning that, guys. I think I did for Blue Purple Luffy, actually. Blue Purple Luffy and Green Bonnie, those are both control style lists, but Silver's Rayleigh is very much an aggro deck. Then we get to Green Zorro and Green Purple Luffy, and those are more in line with a mid-range style tempo deck. So first up here is Richard Yam's third place list here on Zorro. Under $100, well under $100. And like we said, guys, this Cavendish is actually a little bit cheaper than what it says there, at least from what we just saw. And then these Peronas, as I said earlier, these are expensive, but look at this, guys. These are listed as about $7 a piece, $7.50 a piece, whereas the ones we looked at were around $6. So this price should be even cheaper. Okay, really solid mid-range tempo style deck, bruiser style deck. Same thing with Green Purple Luffy here. This is Elijah Quinby's second place list here. And this one, now this is pretty pricey. It's running the Sanji and Puddings. It's running this Luffy as a 3 of. And then it's running this Searcher Nami. What else? Okay. It's running these 3 Thunder Bagwas. I've seen people not run this card, so you probably can just not run this card if you don't want to and run some other event in the place of it, but it is a very solid card. Okay? But if you're just trying to, again, this is more geared for the newer players out there who are trying to get into the game. If you're just trying to save money on this, number one, I would drop down probably I would only run 2 of these Luffys, and in the place of it, maybe go up one of these Zoros. Just go, -1 Luffy, plus one of these 4 cost Zoros. Sanji and Pudding, you're going to have to you're going to have to get that one. It is what it is, guys. And then the Namis too. So this one is a little bit more expensive, and there's not a lot of ways to make the deck all that much cheaper. Okay, and if you guys have any ideas on how to make it cheaper, please say something in the comment section below for the more veteran players. Okay, so that's it for the top 5 decks. Like I said, Blue, Purple, Luffy, and Bonnie are kind of more in the control. They kind of lean more in a control direction. Rayleigh is more aggro. Zoro kind of is on the cusp of aggro, but I think it's a little more tempo mid-rangey. And then Green, Purple, Luffy is almost like combo tempo mid-range. It can get very aggressive very quickly. Okay, then we have Blackbeard. This is a nice control deck. This is a fifth place list here by Captain Tenryubito. Hopefully I said that right. And this is a $30 list. So now, guys, I should have mentioned this. What we're about to focus on now are just the hardcore budget deck lists. Like if you're a brand new player and you're on a budget, I've got you. These are the decks to look out for. Number 1 is Blackbeard. Okay. Number 2 is, let me go down some, Blue Kuzan. Here's a first place list by Yago Garcia. Look at this, guys, about $26, $27. Let's just call it $30 after tax for a fully constructed, very high level, or I should say very high quality blue deck. And this is more of a mid-range tempo bruiser deck with a little bit, a few flavors of control sprinkled in there as well. Okay, so that's Blue Kuzan. Next up is Blue Purple Sanji. If you like combo decks with a lot of searching and things like that, let's check out this Blue Purple Sanji list. 7th place by Manuel Salvador. $32 for a deck that does a lot of cool tricks. Very fun deck to pilot, but probably meant for more of the experienced TCG players. Even if you're not experienced in One Piece, that's fine, but as long as you're experienced in TCGs, a deck like this should make a lot of sense to you. Okay, and then we have Blue Purple Reiju, just like Blue Purple Sanji. This is Blue Purple Reiju. Here's a 21st place list by Stefano Vinci. I recommend this deck to every beginning player, even if you're just new to cards in general. Like, you know, I will say, if you're just new to One Piece, this is a great starting point. But even if you're new to cards in general, this deck, number 1, it's under $20 to build. Okay? Number 2 is it teaches you everything about the game. Okay? And then number 3 is just very fun. But let me focus on number 2 for a second. This deck has your turn once per turn effects, which will teach you a lot about timing in the game of One Piece, and it has card draw built in like crazy. Lots of card draw because of this stage as well. So it has stages built in. Now this version doesn't have an event. Let me go to this 15th place list here by Jamie Mediavilla. Maybe, yeah, so this one's got some events in it. I would actually recommend this one more than the last one just because it has events built in too. So this leader, if you go with this route, if you go this route as a new player, you'll learn about once per turn effects. You'll learn about events. You'll learn about counter events at that too, right? We got Hell's Judgment in here. Then you'll learn about stages and searching. You'll learn about on-play effects. You will learn about activate main effects. You'll learn about trash recursion, dawn minus. It's kind of just the perfect introduction to the game, if I'm being honest, guys. It is a great deck to learn on. Okay, so that's Blue Purple Luffy, and now from there, Green Purple Lim is another good one if you like to ramp Dawn. If you come from a game where you like to ramp up to the bigger creatures, the bigger characters as fast as possible, this is a great list for that. Here's a 3rd place list by Diego Lopez, or maybe it's Diego, but it looks like Diego Lopez. Hopefully I said that right. Now, it looks like it's really expensive at $60 compared to these other decks, but it's really this one card you don't even have to run. This is just a 4-cost 2K counter. Yes, it is true that it is a Odyssey type card, but you can put any 2K counter you want in the spot of this card, and that drops $30 off the top of it. This is just a very niche card that's run in the deck. It is not pivotal to how the deck operates and how it functions. But this is another very solid deck on a budget. If you take this ADO out for any other green or purple 2K counter you want to run, a good one that I always recommend is Izo. Let me just show you guys that card, IZO. Let me go to cards and search. It is this green Izo. Hang on, let me find the standard one. Here it is. It's about 50 cents for this card. It's a 3-cost, 3,000 power 2K counter. On play, rest up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 4 or less. I think it's a great substitute for the ADO that's in here. This one has, if you have 2 or more rested Odyssey type characters, this character gains plus 1,000 power. There is a card coming out that will replace this, I believe, in OP13 or EB03. I can't remember, but either way, for the time being, you do not have to run this ADO. It is completely extra. You don't need to run this. You can run any other green or purple 2K counter you want here. Okay, so that's green, purple, limb, and then we have one more deck that I want to go over, and that's red, yellow, Bello Betty. If you want to play aggro on a budget, first of all, Silver's Rayleigh is the way to go, but it's not quite super budget. It's in the $100 range, but red, yellow, Bello Betty. Let's look at this 27th place list here by Diz. $21. Let's just call it a $25 deck after, you know, shipping and taxing and all that. I'm sure it's somewhere around $25. And this is a very high quality red, yellow aggro list. Well, all right, guys, that's all I got for y'all today. Let me get the outro page on here. I have to say, all things considered, guys, and there's some others on here too, by the way. I probably missed some. There's some other very cheap options as well for the newer players. But, guys, I have to say, all things considered, the game is pretty affordable right now. There was a scary moment about, what was like 3 or 4 months ago. Some things got really expensive in the game out of nowhere. But now things are starting to shape up. And I think once we get caught up with the East, which should happen sometime around April next year. Once we get caught up with the East, that's when I think things are going to be a lot cheaper. And I think we're going to be, you know, doing pretty well then. We'll have to see what happens then. All right, I'm done. Hope y'all enjoyed. Guys, please don't forget to like and subscribe. And guys, if you are liking, subscribing, sharing, commenting, viewing my stuff, or using my TCGPlayer affiliate link, you're helping me out big time. Thank you so much. Also, to all the people who donate on Patreon or PayPal, the Playmat supporters, the YouTube members, and the Discord community, thank you guys so much. I really appreciate each and every one of you. This is an incredible community. All right, I'm done. Hope y'all enjoyed. Till next time, peace.